Yo, what's up? It's Kaiju here again, and in this video, I will be comparing the shapes of the Orochi V2 and the GPX. Wow, they look very different, but they feel very similar in the hand. So, both for me are relatively safe shapes. I think the GPX is a safer shape. The Orochi, if you have medium to small hands, especially small hands, I feel like, this is probably a very safe shape. Why do I say that? It's because the GPX is basically an elongated Orochi V2, or the Orochi V2 is basically a shortened, chunkier GPX. It's if you compare the two of them, see there, like the Orochi is basically when you try to you squish the GPX together like that. Like everything the GPX is, and then just make it chunkier, like squish it. It becomes the Orochi. So if you like the GPX, but you want something smaller, get the Orochi. If you like the Orochi, just like me, but want it bigger, then the GPX shape is definitely for you. And the way I held my Orochi before was kind of like I was fingertipping, or fingertipping with knuckle contact, which I really like because it provides the stability of a claw grip, but the maneuverability of a fingertip grip. But sometimes, I don't know, I just felt off. It's still not as stable because, I play Valorant, TAC FPS and all that. I want something more stable. And then, my friend lent me this mouse. I'm such a big hater of this mouse, but when he lent it to me, I was like, oh, I was so blown away. I just fell in love with it. I still don't think it's worth $130 to $150. So yeah, so in terms of the shape, it's really just you elongated the Orochi V2. I don't have a high-tech camera, but yeah, see, it looks really similar, right? This one you just squished it. This one you kind of extended it. Sorry, man, I don't have any high-tech cameras or whatever. So together like that. Down. See, they're almost as thick as each other, but then the Orochi V2 is a bit more concave. This one is a bit straighter and more... sorry. The Orochi V2 is convex, yeah, going out, more circular. This one is feels a bit narrower because of how it goes in. But the way you hold it, they feel very similar. The Orochi just feels a bit small, and feels a bit narrower, maybe because of the comfort groove. So yeah, so I don't know what else to say, because these are really just both very good, very safe shapes that I think people would like. So in terms of shape, if you have the Orochi but you want something bigger, get the GPX. If you like the GPX but you want something smaller, get the Orochi, because they're pretty much the same shape, only like one is bigger, one is smaller. You can pretty much, depending on your hand size, you can just grab him the way you can grip him the way you want to grip him. And for me, like I said, I would grip my Orochi like this, but I need some more, kind of knuckle or palm contact. So the GPX kind of filled that, and it's really just comfortable. I instantly got better results in Kovacs, and it really just felt really good. But for me, I'm not gonna talk about specs anymore, because but for me, but the Orochi is like half the price of the GPX. And if I were to recommend one, like considering money, I would just say get the Orochi. But money aside, I would go for the GPX for sure, because it's a safer shape. So obviously, if you're more of a fingertip player, go with the Orochi. You're a palm claw, go with this. But again, performance-wise, I mostly perform the same way. Actually, one of the main problems now with my Orochi is the forward sensor placement. I never thought I would actually have a problem with it. At first, like, I see people, the sensor is too forward, blah, blah, blah. Like, it never bothered me. And then I tested the GPX. I held it the same way and everything. And yeah, it did started bothering me. a bit. I could notice the difference. I could notice it throwing me off a bit. I'm more comfortable with the more centered sensor of the GPX as compared to the forward of the Orochi. But again, after like a couple of runs in Kovacs or a few calibrations, mental calibrations, I can perform on pretty much the same. Like it doesn't really ruin me anymore. Like it's not a game breaker. Like yeah, it's a bit. I'm sure your brain will adjust to it, the forward sensor placement. So yeah, I really don't know what else to say. If you have any more questions or comments, just comment down below. I'm sorry for the kind of rushed style of video because my friend is already asking for this for me to return it. I only borrowed it for like a week or so. So yeah. Anyways, that's it. But I pretty much gotten the feel of the mouse down. So I'm sure if you have any questions, I'll be able to answer it. So just ask me questions down below. Which one you think? One I think is better, more worth it. I think the Orochi. If for most people, I'll just suggest this mouse or any other mouse because of just how expensive this is. I really love this, but it's really just too expensive. $120 to $50 doesn't really justify it for me. $100, yeah, maybe, but I'm still hesitant considering that Logitech will probably double click in a few months. So yeah, that's it, I guess. Peace out.